We're very, very happy that President Obama was reelected. It's a validation of what the work that he has done in the first term, and has given him the mandate to continue his policies in the second term. In general, President Obama has been very good for the United States and for Israel, and he's been a very staunch defender of Israel. So, on that respect, we're delighted. And he was given an extraordinary challenge, specifically with respect to the economy. He was given an economy that was on one of the most dangerous and one of the most vulnerable since the time of the Depression. And faced with that challenge, and faced with the obstinacy of the Republican Party, which did not go along with with all of his plans, despite all that, the economy has come back. Not all the way, it'll take another year or two, but it's in the right way, it's in the right direction. And the public knows that to suddenly change to the same policies, the same Republican policies that caused the economy to collapse would be a terrible mistake. That's why I say it's a validation of his policies, and I hope that with continuing these policies that America will finally succeed in getting back to where it was and where it should be.
Now, regarding the relationship with Israel, you are familiar with the fears that this term may be even worse in terms of the fact that Obama doesn't need to be reelected after.
To think that Obama, who has been so supportive of Israel, who has increased the budget to Israel, the military budget to develop the Iron Dome project, who has given the advanced weaponry to Israel, including the F-35 plane, who has vetoed anti-Israel legislation in the United Nations, who has stopped the Palestinian attempt to get a state to be recognition, even though they did not have the requisite basis of a peace process, who has been Israel's friend when the Israelis were trapped in the embassy in Cairo. Who got the 3 a.m. phone call? It was Obama, and he took people. He has been a very supportive friend. How is it imaginable that all of a sudden he would turn into some sort of monster in the second term? That is pure Republican propaganda. There's absolutely no basis for it.
Do you think that we'll see Obama coming to visit Jerusalem this time?
First of all, Obama will come to Jerusalem. He said this. He will come when there's a reason to. I heard a lot of criticism. Why, when he came to Cairo, didn't he at the Cairo conference, and he tried to make the overtures to the Arab world, why didn't he come to Israel as well? Well, there was no reason for it. He doesn't have to come here for vacation, and he doesn't have to come here to stroke the egos of Israelis to have a visit. What for? Just to say hello? If there's a purpose to that visit, then it's okay. As it turns out, there's been tremendous communication between Israel and America on issues. For example, when Bibi Netanyahu and his entire staff stayed for a week in the White House to discuss the problems of Iran a few months ago. There was reason to meet. You do that. And if it would advance the peace process, if, for example, that would make a difference in Palestinians and Israelis get together, he'll be on the next plane. But just to come over and say hello, you can send a postcard.
Now, we're seeing the atmosphere in Chicago, New York, Washington. What can you tell us about the celebrations, maybe small celebrations that you had here? You, of course, were on the media throughout the night.
Well, unfortunately, because I was on the media, I wasn't able to join the celebrations, but we did have celebrations in Jerusalem, and members of our staff were there, and they also joined with other people at the ACI, and they also stayed with the Ambassador Shapiro. We had people over there, and it's really a cause of happiness, because I really believe that Romney, whatever nice person he is, competent person is, the policies of the Republican Party are wrong for the United States and would have set back the United States. I think that they have to do some serious soul searching. They have been rejected by the United States, and I think also the polarization that they represent in terms of extreme conservatism, which and refusal to cooperate with the Democrats. You will recall that they refused to extend the budget, something that caused downgrading of the United States credit, which cost more money for the United States in borrowing. It was against the interest of the United States. It's time for this country, for the United States, to get together. It's time for compromises from both sides, and time to make the right legislation that's needed to get the United States back to its position as the #1 country in the world. And I hope that that's what's going to happen.